How much more of this you think you can take, hero? Now don't keep telling me you came in here alone. Where are the others, huh?
Right behind you.
Come on. You really think... Oh.
In case you forgot, everyone, this game is still set to release in less than 3 months. So hopefully that means that it's still on all of your radars for when the time the game actually launches. But regardless, welcome back, true believers and all you merry Marvelites, to another interesting Marvel's Avengers related video. Now, even though we are all beyond excited for Miles Morales PS5 to release within holiday of 2020, we still have to look out for Avengers coming out in September. And while we're all still waiting for the Avengers War Table livestream to take place and showcase new gameplay on June 24th, the Marvel's Avengers social media pages have actually been a bit more active recently and posted something quite interesting in regards to the narrative that this game will have. And specifically, it does tie into that of the game's main protagonist of Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel. So essentially, Crystal Dynamics decided to showcase some brand new screenshots of the game and particularly display off Kamala Khan's quote-unquote headquarters in full force. And by headquarters, I obviously mean that of her bedroom. Now, while these screenshots aren't anything massive, we also did get a bit of a developer insight to the overall purpose of the room and just showcase how big of a fan Kamala Khan really is of the Avengers. And alongside of that, we also pretty much receive an official reveal of a character that was already previously confirmed to exist within this game's universe, and we actually see her fully displayed in these screenshots. Plus, knowing that Kamala Khan's entire existence is pretty much that of embodying this other Marvel character, it would only make sense that we would receive at least a name drop and or reference of this character's existence within the story of the Avengers project. But given that we see this hero fully appear within Kamala's bedroom with a complete character model, I also think that this heavily implies that we will be able to play as this character sometime down the line after the game releases. And of course, this character is obviously with that of Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, also known as the original Miss Marvel within the Marvel comic books. Now, it was already previously described within Kamala Khan's bio within the official Marvel's Avengers website that she is indeed a major fan of Captain Marvel within the world of Marvel's Avengers. So even though we did know about her previous existence within this game's world, it still is kinda cool to actually see what her character model looks like within the game's universe. And if you guys know me, you'll be aware that I'm not the biggest fan of the costume designs that are within this game's universe, and sadly that also does apply to the outfit that we currently see here for Captain Marvel. There's nothing necessarily wrong with how this outfit looks at first glance, but it is pretty much just a more modernized version of the current Captain Marvel design within the comics. Still, it definitely seems like Kamala Khan's character is very much infatuated with this interpretation of Captain Marvel within the game's universe, just like how she is within the comics, so I am pretty interested to see how that is going to be developed within this game's story if they do decide to expand upon it later on. But if anything, even though we do see Captain Marvel fully revealed here, I wouldn't expect her to be added within the core roster of Avengers at launch, but rather be added post-launch down the line. Because as we already know, the base roster of characters that we will be able to play as once we buy the game is sadly that of the core 6 members that we do have so far, with that of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Black Widow, and the main protagonist Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel. And speaking of other heroes to be added post-launch, we also see a very small picture frame of what looks like to be Hawkeye within Kamala's room as well. And if you've been reading the prequel comics to Marvel's Avengers, you would already know that Hawkeye does in fact exist within this game's universe. So even though I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that we will be able to play as Hawkeye within Marvel's Avengers, it would only make sense for him to be available after the game releases within the post-launch content. And just as a reminder, in case any of you forgot, all the new heroes and regions added within the game will be absolutely free. But on the flip side, there are going to be a plethora of cosmetic attires within the game that you will only be able to unlock with paying through microtransactions. So even though Captain Marvel and Hawkeye will be added within the game's roster at no charge, you will most likely have to use actual additional money to pay for particular skins if you don't like their default suits that you will be able to wear within the game. So for example, if you're someone who would want to wear the Marvel Cinematic Universe suits of that of Captain Marvel and Hawkeye within the Avengers project, it does seem fair to assume that you may have to end up paying physical money to wear those skins in the game itself. But for me, I don't really care about alternate suits all that much as most other people do, so it's really not any skin off my back when I look at it from my perspective. As long as their gameplay mechanics are fun and the narrative that they have within the story is actually impactful, then that's more than enough for me. But with all that said, everyone, that's the video I have for you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think about these screenshots showcasing Kamala Khan's bedroom, and are you excited to actually be playing as both Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel within the Avengers project? Even though I'm still cautiously optimistic towards this entire game, I still hope it does do well once it does release on September 4th. But still, I'm just waiting for something to truly wow me when we actually receive new footage of the game in action during the War Table livestream on June 24th. So fingers crossed that what we end up receiving is definitely worth our time. But until next time, everyone, thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and peace out.
Hi, I'm Hannah McLeod. I'm one of the writers on Marvel's Avengers, and I'm going to give you a little insight into what you're looking at. This is Kamala's hideout. She calls it headquarters. Here at the studio, we call it her treehouse because this is where she can be completely safe and herself. She practices her powers here. She fangirls over the Avengers here. And this is also where she researches what really happened on A-Day. She believes the Avengers were set up, and she'll do anything she can to prove that her getting her powers and everything that happened wasn't a mistake. So you can see all of her research notes around here, you can see her comic books, and you can see her giant Captain Marvel poster because she's a huge fan.